Hey, yo, it's Cash on the Hood. Third episode here with Nick. And I really love that you guys have made it this far along with us. It's soon to be Labor Day weekend. If you're listening to this, that means there's a demolition derby at the Great Stoneboro Fair. But before we do all that, like, share, subscribe. Brian says, like, share, subscribe. If you don't do that, we will never, ever win at this game. So, Brian, of 270 episodes of Cinema Psychos and Lipson fame, which is the hosting company of our podcast, filmed and recorded right here at StudioME in East Liberty. Nick, tell them who you are.
Nick Bogacz of Caliente Pizza and Draft House, and also the author of The Pizza Equation. You can find it on Amazon. And I also have a podcast called The Business Equation.
You're into this. I was on your show once.
Absolutely, you were. You're a great guest. Now I'm trying to return the favor and be a great guest here.
Oh, you've been killing it all day. I hope everyone is feeling really inspired from listening to these episodes of from delivery driver to Steeler Stadium, you know?
Yeah. Who let us in there, right?
Right. Yeah, you did. You got in there. This episode, we want to talk about maybe some pizza boxes, but I want to talk about the vintage Grand Prix. I see you got a Triumph.
Yeah, we did. We got a 67 Spitfire, got a race car. I mentioned on the last episode that I can't say I'm really big into cars, but I alluded to that my wife and my son are. So we got brought to kind of pitch. We get a lot of things pitched to us. The Pittsburgh Vintage Grand Prix pitched being the title sponsor of their car show to us. They do a lot of great things for charity, so we felt like that would be a good fit. And what it was is I'm reading the sponsorship package, and I really couldn't see too much of how we tie Caliente into the car show. So I gave the sponsorship package to my son, and he reads it, and he says, hey, what if we had some trophies to give away? Because they never give away trophies at the car show, which to me kind of blew my mind that they have a car show and they have a race and there's no trophies. So on top of that, he said, and by the way, Dad, we need a race car to put in the race. I'm like, oh my gosh. So we call Dan over at the Vintage Grand Prix. We pitch our idea of the trophies. He thought that was a great idea. So they have Spirit of the Show Award, which is brought to you by Caliente Pizza and Draft House, giant trophy. And then we also have a giant trophy that we're give away for the victor of the race too. So like a spirit of the race. It was to a racer that's been in the. It wasn't necessarily for the winner of the race, but it's more for somebody that's supported the sport and been part of the race for a long time. So that was cool. And then when we mentioned to Dan over at the Grand Prix about getting a race car, he was like, "Oh, it's really hard to get a race car because it's got to be the right car for the vintage race. It's got to have a roll cage, all this stuff. And on top of that, good luck finding a driver." So when he says all that, my son's next to me. He's like, "Hey, cousin Josh could drive that," because cousin Josh races Hondas. For years, he's been an avid race car driver. So we're like, yeah, okay, cousin Josh could drive it. And then my kid's like, all right, we need to buy a race car. So he went to work. He's like, "What's the budget?" I was like, "I don't know. What's a race car cost?
All of it.
Yeah, right. Can we spend Can we spend like 10 grand? I don't know." So they started looking. Josh, my son Perry, they started looking all over the country, and they actually found one in Shaler that was that has ran the race before, and we ended up getting it for 13 grand, which I thought was great. And then we wrapped it in all kind of Caliente gear, put a slice of pizza on the side. We kept the vintage look, so it's still got a vintage look to it. But we had to put a pizza slice on it. And so they took it down to West Virginia. Josh had to get certified to be able to drive vintage cars, so he got his license. They spent a few days down there at the track, and then Perry got certified as like the pit crew. So it was kind of cool. He's like, "I thought I was going to watch the races." He's like, "I've been running back and forth with battery chargers in my arms for the whole day." So everything's sounds like they were excited to make this thing come true. And then we were able to use the car on all our marketing. We made a special pizza the Motor City Madness pizza. It's a Detroit style pizza. And we put a picture of the car and a picture of the pizza. We did a ton of flyers with it, ton of social media with it. Plan on having the car, different car shows throughout the year. Going to use it in meet and greets at the stores, and when we have a new store, a new grand opening, we'll bring it there to have people take pictures. So yeah, we're gonna use this car all throughout our marketing.
Yeah, it's gonna be in your Super Bowl ad.
Yeah, it might be the Super Bowl ad. You never know,
right?
Yeah.
How was that Super Bowl ad?
It was great. You know, it was one of those things that we're always looking at new mediums for marketing. We hadn't done any TV yet. We do a lot of radio. We do a lot of direct mailing, a lot of social media, and we wanted to make a big splash. And why not make a big splash into that medium on the biggest TV day of the year? So a lot of negotiating back and forth, and we landed on a good spot right before the national anthem, and we were able to create a spot. We used a ton of kids, and we had a great premise for the commercial, and then we ran it 3 times around the Super Bowl game, and then we were able to run it for the whole month of February, and we're gonna reuse it here with college football and NFL kickoff coming up here shortly.
That must have been another milestone for you.
Yeah, it was. It was cool. It was it was definitely a milestone to have a Super Bowl commercial. It was a lot of fun to be sitting around the chips and dip and Super Bowl Sunday spread and see it on TV.
Did you yell into the room, "Shut up, shut up"?
Yeah, well, I knew when it was coming on because they tell you like, hey, it'll be on at 6:15 or whatever it is. So we were sitting there patiently waiting, and it was awesome to see.
Like selection night or whatever.
Yeah,
the
right.
Cameras are on you. It's all that. That must have been really thrilling, I'm sure.
Yeah, it was fun. It definitely was. And, we had a little bit of Super Bowl party to make sure, I always love those moments where you can have, the people that really have supported you your whole entire journey, mothers, mother-in-laws, father-in-laws, brothers, sisters, really good friends. So I think, it's cool when they can be there in those kind of moments.
Betcha. That was a winning moment for you.
Yeah, it was. Yep.
Yeah, you guys have been winning a lot now. What does it mean to be 4-time champion?
I think, it's interesting because in all these different niches, whether it's demolition derby, the pizza industry, the art industry, there's moments in those industries that mean a lot to the industry. And sometimes they mean almost everything to the industry. And that's what Pizza Expo is to the pizza industry. The International Pizza Expo gathers every March in Las Vegas. It's 10,000 people come through, at least 10 to 15,000. There's 10 football fields of pizza related stuff. There's all kind of competitions on acrobats, the pizza acrobats, which we have a great pizza acrobat that's been with me a long time. He runs our commissary now, Matt Hickey. Shout out there. He's a great pizza thrower. They have all kind of different pizza stretching and awards, and then they have the the cook-offs. And we've done really well at both sides. We've done well in the games, and we've done well in the pizza cook-offs. But I think it's been it's one of those things to the industry. You get noticed. It feels great. The thing we talk about in the stores all the time, though, is when you start talking about sports. Nothing against what the athletes do because it's next to incredible the amount of dedication it takes. With that being said, they get an off season, and in entrepreneurship, in life, in business, there's no off season. So we'll go to Pizza Expo, win awards, and then it's not like, hey, see you guys after the 4th of July. It's like, no, see you on Monday at work, and you never get that like break, so to speak, unless you get that week or 2 weeks off, but you don't get that off season, and sometimes it's hard to reset in business and keep that focus. But we do look at the Pizza Expo as our Super Bowl in the industry.
I was amazed the first time you told me that they have art judging for the painting of the mixers.
They do.
How would you even get your mixer to be judged there? They're so heavy. Yeah, you'd have to ship your mixer. Do you have to ship it?
Well, what they've been doing lately is Hobart, the mixing company. They paint one up every year and then they raffle it off. So that's really what they've been doing is they've been giving away a brand new mixer that's has some sort of theme on it to one of the show attendees. So it's pretty cool.
Oh, I need to get a part of that. I want to live paint one.
That I bet you could. Yeah, they probably would love that actually.
I think I would love to live paint a mixer.
Yeah,
that'd be pretty fun.
I'm sure that there's so many rules there at the expo. I know pizza acrobats used to catch the dough on fire when they were throwing it in the air, and the people like convention center would freak out. So I don't know how they'd feel about fumes inside the convention center.
I'd use my one-shot paints. I wouldn't use my spray paint.
I think I got to reach out to Hobart for you.
That'd be great. I'd love to.
That'd be sick.
But yeah, that'd be cool. Put me at the entrance.
Yeah.
I'll paint a mixer all week.
That'd be awesome.
I'll wear a Caliente's tracksuit the whole time.
And now we're talking part of the wolf pack.
That's right. I'll come in there to win.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
I'm going to get you a championship for best painted mixer.
Now we're talking. I love
5 times.
That. Yeah, 5 times.
I like that. I like that a lot. Now, you've been pretty used to winning a lot lately. Have you taken any losses?
Yeah, in business and life, you always take opportunities. I think a lot of times it's how you look at things. I don't know if I necessarily like to use the word failures, but I like to say opportunities. We learn a lot. There's a lot of times that we've got different things going on, and sometimes they don't always go as planned. But I really think that if you can learn lessons from everything that you go through, and use those lessons, not just learn them, but really use them and kind of make yourself better in life or in business or as a person. I think that's what's important. So yeah, there are times where things don't go the way we want, but I think we learn from it, adapt, and just get better from it.
Yeah, you're always moving. Like, I guess I was like, have you ever got a second place at this pizza expo, or you're just constantly getting first?
No, there's times where we've gone every year, competed since 2016. So there's definitely been years where we came back and felt beat up a little bit, but it makes you practice harder, makes you work harder, makes you think and be more creative. It's hard. There's a lot of great competitors out there. Like I'm sure like there's a lot of great people in your industry, a lot of different guys that you may see at a competition one year and they're like middle of the pack, and they come out next year and you could tell they practice all year long because they just blow it out of the water. Like there's a lot of that too, where you get sneaky competitors and new competitors, and then we have a lot in the industry too, where there's guys that maybe competed, they've won, and then they I don't want to say disappear, but maybe they don't go to Expo for a while, and then all of a sudden they show back up. So it'll be like, hey, this guy's back from 7 years ago, and everyone's talking about him because he's back in a competition. So it's kind of interesting. Every year, I don't want to say it's a crapshoot because it is something that we practice at, and there definitely is skill involved. But you don't really know till you get there and see the field.
Which award are you trying to win this year?
So I think every year the ones that we try to win is the world championship titles is what we're trying to win. In October here, we're going out to Atlantic City, and they have one that's the best cheese pizza. So it sounds kind of cheesy. No, it sounds kind of plain. So either way, 2 puns there. But honestly, like think about it. Like if you could come back and say that you have the best cheese pizza in America, like I don't know, that's a pretty big award. And what a simple contest. Yeah, best cheese pizza. Period.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then if you win that, then that's where the bar starts.
Yeah. Right.
Bar starts at plane.
Yeah. I mean, I think anytime we win something, I think what we also do is we do a great job of marketing it. And when you market it, people always come in and they try to test it and see if that's true. And what's crazy is we get a lot of, there's always the trolls on the internet. We get a lot of people say like, oh, they don't serve those in their restaurant. They just made that for an award, or it's the contests are rigged or whatever. No, like the contests are like real deal, behind closed door judges that are like culinary, astute culinary degrees or culinary, master chefs, or it's guys who have won the pizza contest year after year, and they're judging it. And then on top of that, we serve every single pizza that we've won. We serve at the restaurant. So like you can come in and get the braised duck one that you mentioned a little bit ago, the Quack Attack. Like we have those right on the menu. So Yeah, how cool would it be to the cheese one though? Because it's kind of like, hey, so we're pretty excited about that one, I guess. Yeah.
What was it like making a pizza with Mark Madden?
It was cool. Mark is one of those personalities in Pittsburgh. You love him, hate him, say whatever you want. He does a great job of being out there, and he really has a big giving heart. The way we approached him is we wanted to team up with him. We wanted to give a donation back from each pizza to the Mary Lemieux Foundation. Mark really is a big supporter of the Mary Lemieux Foundation. When he sets up his hockey tournaments and different things, he's always keeping them in mind as a way to give back. And I think it went over really well. He, of course, was bragging about it on the air every chance he got. And he's a great personality. He's a Pittsburgh personality. Like I said, whether you like what he has to say about certain teams in Pittsburgh and his opinions, the way that he treats the sponsors of the show, the way that he treats his partners that he does deals with, and the way that he treats the community in general, like the community that he gives back to, like he's a great person, and he was really easy to work with, and we look forward to future partnerships.
Nice. What's on his pizza?
His pizza was triple sausage.
Yeah.
And it was kind of cool. We had him in, and we did a bunch of taste testings. We had like 3 or 4 pizzas, and we let him pick it. And he liked the triple sausage, and we brought in a ground sausage because we said to Mark, we're like, hey, what would your pizza have on it? And he's like, as a kid, I love ground sausage. And he named, I forget the pizzeria in Pittsburgh that he named that had ground sausage. And we didn't have a ground sausage, so we went back to our reps. We found a nice ground sausage, and we made a couple pizzas with that. And the one that he picked had the ground sausage, had our Italian sausage, and had our regular sausage on it. And that was it. And then we put some hot honey on top as well, a little spicy hot honey.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's so I listen to him often because that's what time I pick up Rowdy from school. So that's usually when I listen. It's just that moment when I drive to and from school, hear what he has to say. But he really does well at mentioning Calientes.
Yeah, he does. And that's the thing too. He's always been really good to us. So it was a natural partnership, and we enjoyed it. It was great. And he was very easy to work with. And he still, he just texted me the other day. He wanted to get some of our Dorito pizza. So we made sure we sent him one out there. And he's a good person. He's proud to be from Pittsburgh. I mean, like most Pittsburghers, he's proud to be from Pittsburgh. You can tell.
I think you two are from that same side of Route 8, right?
Yeah, he's from Shaler. Yeah. Yep.
Made good on it.
Yeah, for sure.
Pretty cool. I do enjoy listening, so whenever I do hear him mention it, it gives me special pride. I'm like, I'm happy for you. You know, I'm happy that you got that. That was a really good partnership for you.
Yeah, we try to get some good partnerships, but it's important for us to have the partnerships that have a mission, that have some sort of foundation that we can give back to. We did one last summer with Ryan Shazier and his foundation and what he's doing for spinal cord injury, and it's really been it's been great to team up with people that have a true passion for helping others. And I think that's where we found the connection with Caliente is we can use our product and bring awareness to their organizations, and then just really in the spirit of giving, do something special.
You are a philanthropist, and it's wonderful to watch you work. You are always giving, and you're just generous and kind. You know what I mean?
Well, thanks. So, I think it's, I don't know, at the end of the day, I guess that's the way my wife and I were raised. And, I guess kind of a cool story. I know, Andrew really well, my wife, and I think you'll like this story. There was a time where we were really good friends before we were boyfriend, girlfriend, or anything like that. And we were in our teenage years, and my house burnt down. I had a house fire. And, when I say it burnt down, I had the boxer shorts that I was wearing at 3 a.m. when it happened, and that was it. Everything else from our house was gone. And a few days later, Ann showed up with I don't even know if she asked her brother, but she showed up with all kind of shoes, clothes, everything for me. And I think it was at that moment that I realized, like, hey, this is the kind of person I want to be around for the rest of my life. Like, she just has a giving heart, and made sure that I had I was gonna say, made sure I had, everything I needed after the fire, as far as like clothing wise. And yeah, that was at that moment that I realized, like, hey, this is the right person for me. And I think in that spirit, we've always tried with Caliente to always have a giving heart, and make sure that we can just take what we've been blessed with it, and make sure that we're able to help others as well.
Yeah. And when you partner with Mario Lemieux, everyone knows at that moment.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of different organizations in Pittsburgh that, I don't know if there's definitely so many causes, and so many places that you can partner up with. And I think what's important for me is the ones where they're totally giving back. The ones where there isn't high price CEOs or something like that, but they're really giving back. I also we like working with the Light of Life here in Pittsburgh. I think they do a great job. We have a push where we're going to work with Make a Wish this fall, and Make a Wish kid's going to come in and create a pizza with my chef Eric, and then we're gonna sell the pizza that he made. The Make a Wish kid helped us make, and give money back to Make a Wish. So we think things like those are the things that we really like doing. Different things that keep keep us from in the spirit of giving, and also we like to be part of the bigger picture.
Yeah. And Pittsburgh's happy and lucky to have you. That's for certain.
Well, thanks. We definitely, I don't know. It just means everything to be from Pittsburgh. People who aren't born and raised here maybe don't understand, but then if they live here, they quickly do start to understand. It's not just the love of the sports teams. It's the actual love for everything here in the city. I think people are really proud to be from Pittsburgh. It's you know, growing up in the age we are, you hear a lot about blue collar and stuff like that. And of course, the city has changed with the times. And I think still there's just so much that the city has to offer. It's just a great place to live.
It's true. This is the best home base
It
that you
is.
could fly out of. It's could have lived anywhere, I suppose, and Pittsburgh really was the space. I was trying to get out of here, not to ever come back, but whenever I was ready to settle down in my life. Pittsburgh was it. I moved here on New Year's Eve. And I remember this because Ben Roethlisberger wasn't the quarterback yet. All right, so I know my time and when I got here to Pittsburgh, and it was New Year's Eve, and everyone came outside and started banging on pots and pans. I never experienced such a thing, and the amount of people that were doing it, because I was on Carroll Street here in Bloomfield, and I just the sense of family and tradition was exactly what I needed at that moment of my because I was just traveling and just I was transient. I was just trying to get my art career off the ground, and when I experienced that, it's when I realized, okay, this is where I want to be. This is the people who I want to be with. The sense of identity, community, family was something that I needed. I wasn't getting it in New York. I wasn't getting it in Seattle. Not that it wasn't there. I just hadn't plugged into that type of effort. So I wear Pittsburgh proudly.
Absolutely. And you planted your roots in a part of the town that was definitely revitalizing too. I think even being here in East Liberty today and seeing what they're doing with the streets and the structures that they're building, like there's something special brewing down on this side of town, on the east side over here.
Well, when I came here, it was the only place basically in America an artist could move in and buy something because it was just so kind of run down. I don't want to make it sound terrible, but it was a hard part of town when I first came here, and it's definitely changed around me, and I'm very happy that there's a return on investment. But I'm happy that the neighborhood really we haven't moved a lot of people out. The neighborhood development company has done a really good job of keeping families in their homes while all this investment is coming around them. So I'm happy to be part of that group. That's the Bloomfield Garfield Corporation. They've been doing it since 1975. We're not going to have this mass exodus of a neighborhood. Stop that. We're going to figure out why this extremes are happening. Yeah, I've been really lucky to be in this part of town for.
Yeah, I think overall, like we were talking about, the city's just a special place. It really is.
I remember right where we're at right now, you used to drive through a building. Like you couldn't see the chapel here in East Liberty because there was an apartment building right here where we're at. And I used to always, when I first came here, because that's when Home Depot opened too. I always was, only in New York where you drive through an apartment building.
That's crazy.
I was like, how did they get this built? How is this legal?
Yeah,
I don't know. Like, how are tractor trailers driving through an apartment building?
that's wild. Yeah, just looking at all the construction out there now, there's still more coming. So
Yeah, with the Whole Foods across the street, that's really changed the whole corner here.
yeah,
The design of that building's pretty nice too. I like how it steps back. Where's your next? Now you're always searching locations. Do you have a location next that you're allowed to tell us that you're?
yeah. Of course we do. We're working on a spot over in the North Hills on the end of Babcock Boulevard. We're hoping Q1 of 2024 to be open over there. I mentioned just briefly on the first episode that we'll be in Penn State. So if you're heading up there, in Beaver Stadium, we'll be there as well. But yeah, we're always expanding. That's the goal and the effort. Anywhere you are in Western Pennsylvania, you could take a short drive and end up with a Caliente Pizza. That's the mission we're on.
Who do you consider your peers that you're competing against? Are you competing against Permane Brothers? Are you at that or higher or lower? Or do you find them to be?
That's a great question. I think what I find myself looking at the Permane Brothers, the Eaton Parks, maybe to a certain degree, Mad Maxes of the world. I think maybe the first two a little bit more, but I watch how they where they go and what they do marketing wise and where their sponsorships are. As far as competitors, I don't know if I spend too much time worrying about others. I really worry more about what we do. But I do watch a little bit of where people end up, where businesses end up, because I think it's one of those things. Way back when, and I know you remember this, we were real big in Pittsburgh Craft Beer Week, and there was a lot of great bars on the back of the T-shirts, and I wanted to be on the back of the T-shirt next to these great bars, great beer bars. So we did. We bought the sponsorship at that time. It was $500, which might as well have been. Starting a business might as well have been 50,000. It was such a big commitment to be on these shirts, but it put us with the big movers and shakers of the craft beer bar movement back then. And today, I still try to do that same strategy. Where are the Eaton Parks and the Permane Brothers going for sponsorships and marketing packages, and can we put our name next to them too, so that we can be part of that big name? And I think, on a bigger picture, it seems like UPMC is everywhere, but when you can be next to a name like UPMC, on a, whether it's at Acashore Stadium or wherever it may be, I think you're moving the company in the right direction.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Why I thought that, I was thinking about the outlet malls in Grove City and how there was a Permane's there.
Yeah.
Like, it seems like that's where you'd be at next or something.
Yeah. There's certain, I think if you're going to go somewhere like that, like I personally, if we're even like, I think a big one for us is like, we'd like to be in Greensburg at one point, but we'd like to be in Murraysville before that, so that you're, we're in Monroeville, then you're in Murraysville, then you're in Greensburg. So like there's a natural progression of going out there. But what the stadiums have done is, being from Western Pennsylvania, people will definitely drive an hour and 20 minutes to go to a Steelers game, or hour and a half. So the fact that we're in there, somebody from Grove City may very well know what Caliente is, because they're getting the pizza at the stadium. So if we did open a restaurant, an hour and 20 minutes from Pittsburgh, yeah, there's a good chance they're going to know our brand already. Yeah,
that's pretty exciting. And I've been telling everybody, of course, I'm like, because, when I get a lot of people, they come into town, like, where are we going to eat? You know what I mean? So you just put them on the list. All right, we got to get that Caliente off that list next.
Yeah.
And, we're going to keep going. Now, me, depends on who's coming in, because then I might just take them right to Gooski's if they want a dive bar. You know what I mean? But if they want to go the other way, then who knows where we'll end up.
Yeah,
Hyde Park or something.
Yeah, way back when I ran the Domino's on 5th Street, which was next to Gooski's, and everybody like after work that's where they were heading. Yeah, yeah,
that's it.
Yep,
that's fun. Now, you've been a really great guest. You've really covered everything that we talk about here at Cash on the Hood. We've talked about art. We've talked about hustle. We talked even a little bit about Demolition Derby, which is great. Do you think we missed anything?
No, I don't. I think it's one of those things that, I appreciate you having me as a guest. When you asked me, I guess I'm gonna give full disclosure and show a little bit behind the show hood here. Is this is Saturday morning we're recording, so it's early on a Saturday morning, and Ange asked me like, where are you going? I said, it wasn't Jason. There's nobody else that'd be going on Saturday morning this early. So yeah, our friendship really means a lot to me, and
appreciate it.
Yeah, and that's I'm glad that you've got a podcast. I think your voice needs to be heard out there. You're doing a lot of great things. I love watching. You always are so nice and kind to me. The big cheerleader for me and tell me all the great things I'm doing. But it's like looking in the mirror. I'm always watching what you're doing. You're on the great things, and really happy to be on the show for the last couple of weeks here.
Yeah, that's nice. I know we had to reschedule, and I thought, oh no. And I know that, owning your shops, like your shops don't close till 2 a.m. So you got to run that emergency. So I knew that getting you up at 6 on a Saturday to just talk on the mic was going to be a tough one.
Maybe I was out looking for Bigfoot last night.
You're still out there. Nice.
He's always out there.
Yeah, Brian is excited. That was pretty cool. You showed us while we were outside taking a break the picture of the Bigfoot head that you have mounted on the wall. That's pretty cool. That's a nice piece of artwork.
Yeah, we love it. Everything's fun. I think that's the thing too. There's certain aspects to business. The entrepreneurship, the philanthropy part. But then there's also the family part, and then there's you time too. I think a lot of times you got to take care of yourself before you can take care of all the other things that go on in your life. So I think there's been a part over the last 10 years of this journey for me that I wasn't good at before, of taking time for myself. And, if it's something kooky like out there looking for Bigfoot that kind of resets me, then that's what it is. And I think that's what's become important, is that you take time for yourself. There's definitely a lot of talk out there in our country about, mental health. And I think it's important that you really recognize and have self-awareness and take time for yourself when you need it.
That's true. It really is true. Because there's so many things to be distracted by now, and there's so many expectations put on you to succeed, and then all these influences that are around you showing you these ideas of the American ideal, and it's tough. I know it is. I know I hang out in Demolition Derby, so these are risk-taking personalities, and risk-taking personalities have that type of, in their head type stuff going on. So I often try to let people know that they're loved, and we care about them, and it's absolute truth. It's I don't want to say it's tough being American. This is the only place where you can do it like this, but it's a journey here. Like, if you're going to be successful, and that's something I'm always saying. If you can make it to 28 in America, then you're going to do something, because there's so many things that can beat you before you're age 28.
Yeah, 28's the year where that's the year where I guess I'm trying to think of the right way to say it. I made it to 28, but you're right about that number, because I think your 20s are just so hard. There's so much expectations. You got to find yourself still. And
I think
right around
ways to lose yourself.
Yes, there is. And I was really lost throughout my 20s. 28's when I got clean and sober. Now it's looking back, it's 17 years. And I was 28, and I think it was just like that point in my life where it was it was a breaking point. And it's, when you look back, you're right. You make it to 28 and you make it through there, and you're right. That's the number.
I was thinking about it the other day. I'm like, because I was thinking this exact conversation. Like, where is it the hardest? Where does it, where's that moment? Because they say the rock stars, they all OD by 27. So I was just thinking about, okay, knowing that information, I'm just like, what is the number? And like, so if you survive America, like to that moment, then you know you have most of the skills you're going to need to get for the next.
Yeah.
And you have all the experiences that you were like, all right, I did that. We can move on to a new experience.
Yeah.
Become obsessed about, because that's what it is. You got to be, it's to be successful in America.
It is. It's an every moment type thing. And I think a lot of times people look at other people's success and they think it's overnight, but it never is. There's there's the public persona that everybody sees. There's the private life that your close people that are with you that they see, your family life. And then there's the really like your inner deeper you, and maybe there's one or two other people that get to see that, but sometimes there's not. And I think, when all three of those parts of your life can connect and be working in one faction and one effort, I think good things happen. But there's always a lot to it. It is tough. I think I think you're right about American culture being tough. I know that when I spent a couple weeks over in Italy, it just feels different. It's more relaxed. People aren't worried about working all the time. I don't know if I really quite get how they're able to do that, but there definitely is a different. They're not out there chasing it every day. Where I feel like a lot of people out here, whether they have their own business and they're chasing it that way, or they're working for somebody else, and their why is a different avenue, and they're working towards their success. Because I think that's the other thing too that happens in America's success gets defined as a certain lifestyle or luxury item or whatever it may be. But really, different successes for different people look different ways. Success can be, a job where somebody's working a 40-hour work week and they're have enough money to have the house that they want, and the family time. Time is one of those things that for some people, time's more important than everything else. So it's your success is really defined by you.
A good way to put it. That's a good way to end it too. I love having you on as the guest. It's so great. You've been listening to Cash on the Hood. That's 3 episodes with Nick, owner of Caliente's Pizza. Without him, you've really helped me, support me along the way. But Brian says you got to like, share, subscribe. If you don't, we will never be successful. So listen to Brian's podcast, the Cinema Psycho Show, at 270 episodes since 2016 on the Lipson, filmed right here at StudioME. Send them out, Nick.
Thanks for listening to Cash on the Hood. This is Nick Bogacz with Caliente Pizza and Draft House with my good friend Jason Sauer, most wanted fine art.